That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is now time for Conversations with My Cuz. And let me introduce you to your cousin, her cousin, his cousin, my cousin, all of our cousins. We have Michelle with one L, Shay Lachey, and representing the brothers coming from Honda DJ booth, we have DJ Big Rob. Now, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, y'all?
Everybody, welcome to Conversations with My Cuz. I am Shay Lachey.
And it's me, your girl Michelle with one L.
And I am Brother Love, DJ Big Rock.
Hey, Rachel. Hey, Keish. I see you in the feed already. I'm so glad y'all here with us. What's going on, people? It's a good Sunday. It's a good Sunday.
It's a good Sunday.
It's a football Sunday. So much of a football Sunday that we lost one of our teams today because that brother decided that football was more important than this. Okay.
Can I use a sick
day?
He's
a 49ers fan, and he used sick day and then posted pictures of him and his wife in their 49ers gear and all kind of foolishness. So I want to shout out the 49ers who took one of my team members. Okay.
He's fired after today. He's fired.
My doctor.
Hold on.
He lost his job. He lost his job.
We ain't toasted to that. I got the toast.
Oh.
Because you know I be trolling. Well, listen.
We toasted, not trolling.
I know I got the toast. We toasting Dipset. We are toasting Dipset. Listen, shout out to Cameron. You have to go check the Funk Flex freestyle. Woo, woo. Cameron means business. Shout out to Dipset. The boy got a brand new outfit.
I guess we shouting Dipset out. 49ers. Well, shout out to the good people.
Oh, that's a firewater.
Oh, yeah.
All right, what you talking about, Rock? Since you've been trolling.
Well, you know what's this? Speaking of you trolling,
go ahead.
What you been trolling on this week?
Listen, we've been trolling. You know, I be trolling.
You be trolling.
My boy AB. My boy
AB. And for those who don't know out there in the world, that's Antonio Brown. So
my boy AB, he says a couple things this week. He says that the team told him before he got into all of this that they wanted to send him for a mental evaluation. And he felt that he didn't have a mental health issue. So we had a conversation about this when I was trolling, and
conversations with my cousin,
and I was discussing with the cousins a couple things, and a picture came up that he posted, and I put it on the Facebook page when we had a discussion, and the man did. Shout out to AB, love him to death, one of the greatest wide receivers we ever seen in the game. He turns around and took a meme of his own self and said and had a message out to the Buccaneers because they didn't win in the playoffs. Now, who takes a meme of themselves?
What? I would do that.
Well, I gotta say,
I would do that.
In his mind, that solidifies his position.
Exactly.
Right? Because you do something and to him, that's it. Don't figure it out.
Y'all. You know, y'all want to treat me like I'm disposable. I'm out of here.
Yep.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Are y'all serious right now?
But here's the thing. Before you tell your story, we need to first let all of our audience know what's happening. So you already prepared for this fight. You don't even know. You tagged me,
buddy.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So we about to do a little something to the videotape. We about to go to the videotape.
Please. Let's go to the videotape.
Then you take your jersey off You unstrap your pads because you got boom, boom, right? Or you bail. It's different. Spank, you don't know about this.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
Okay, then you take your shoulder pad off. I don't know if you had. Did you wear undershirt underneath the? You wear under? I used to wear undershirts.
Are you a free baller?
Yeah, free baller. I felt sexy.
Yeah.
And so you do that, bro. You run out. You throw the peace sign. And so everybody watching, the world watching.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the conversation, AB's mental health, CTE, that conversation. That's everybody. That's what's going on. So like I like really go deep and go. Give me your perspective around that conversation.
But anytime a black man, African American male, become a target or become a forefront or a face of anything, you know, it's just unfortunate. You know, imagine yourself putting yourself in my shoes as a football player. You just won a Super Bowl with a team. You won the team. You give them your all. You know, I was out since week 6 with a torn deltoid ligament, and imagine the coach tell you like, get the out of here. You done. Like you hurt. They know you're hurt. They know what it is.
You did that on the Full Send podcast because that's important.
Yeah,
Did
like
do that?
yeah, you done. So I'm trying to, in that moment, I'm already mad, you know, because I can't really, you know how you feel when you hurt, you already a little frustrated. So I'm trying to fathom, like he just said, get the out of here and you done.
Yeah, that's sick.
So like, yo, I came with this team, man. I'm with you guys. Like, I'm wearing your guys' uniform, man. I'm representing you guys right now. I'm sacrificing my health to be out here with you. I just got a text from you prior to the game. You said, hey, man, just come with us. If you could go, just give us what you got. So I already had an understanding with the coach. You know what I mean? And then to come to the game and then I give him what I got and tell him, yo, I can't go no more. For him to come and be like, yo, get the out of here, you done.
Was that mid-game?
Yeah, during the game. So in my mind, I'm like,
yeah, he lives on the farm, so he don't know all of this.
oh, yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, so.
No, because the thing is, I get flashbacks to my own anger, right? Sometimes it was justified, and sometimes it wasn't. Yeah. There was times I was yelling at coaches, and sometimes coaches yelling at me. So that was the thing. It was like, you know, obviously when you get bombarded with a bunch of messages about somebody else being in a similar position that you've been, you know, there's a lot of things that people don't know, but at the same time, I sat there and I reviewed the tape. Was there anything I could have done differently?
You know what? I should have been a lawyer. You should have been a lawyer, Michelle. You got a great interview. Because you didn't show the rest of that interview. You got a great.
Well, here's the thing that I noticed. The last thing that they said in that clip was that he was saying that he reviews the tape and says to himself, is there something that I could have done differently? And I think that's the difference in where Ra has a problem with him, is that AB is just doubling down on his position and he won't reflect on whether or not he could have handled the situation differently.
Agreed.
He's just like, I just did what I did. Oh, well.
Right. And here's his response to that. So we got one more clip to that. One more clip. Okay. One more.
Yeah. Okay, Miss Cochran.
We got one more clip. One more.
I was just a 3-4 defensive end, you know, taking double.
Yeah, but listen, we all from different places, bro. Like the way you off, it may not be the way we'll do it. You know, we all got different looks on life, on how we react. You know, if a guy push you in school, I don't know what you might have did. If a guy pushed me in school, I know what law I live on, what we would have did. So when I know a coach and the team ain't got my back and the situation where I'm hurt and you telling me to get the out of there, ain't no more professional. But I don't want to wear your I'm getting the out of here.
Before all of that, did you have a good relationship with him?
Nah, man. I've been working with these guys under the restriction, though. They never wanted AB. Tom wanted AB.
This is the tough position I'm in. Because I'm with you. Why you ain't go to ESPN? Why you ain't talk to ESPN?
Listen, son,
or like a
I'm not running no campaigns for people to be sorry for me.
No, I'm asking you a question. They got a job to do, right? And this is the tough spot.
Okay.
But if anybody wants to catch the whole interview, that's from a podcast called I Am Athlete. You can go check that out on YouTube. So we only got a little part of it, you know. So it's a really good podcast.
It's a great podcast. Really great podcast.
The point that we're trying to make here is that is it mental illness or is it just his reactions to situations?
And we've had a difference of opinion about that as well. We on the top.
and he's on the bottom.
Okay, here's the situation. Again, when crazy don't know they crazy. That's the problem. He's not taking accountability for taking his clothes off in the middle of a football field, running in the freezing cold across a football game because he's angry. I would have respected it more if he would have just walked into the locker room because he got upset. But the actions that he took was totally unprofessional, and he's not taking responsibility. The bad part of it, he's not taking responsibility of the whole situation, and that's really the point.
I agree. You know, I agree. He's had a temper tantrum.
That's crazy. Shout out to the crazy.
I recall you stripping down into your drawers.
Hey, baby, and I admit it, but
we don't call you crazy.
Shit, I was riding. I was having a good time. I told you.
You were having a moment.
Here's the difference between the moment. The moment was, I told you, Michelle said, you ain't going to take your goddamn clothes off. Yes, I'm going to take my goddamn clothes off and everybody get their video camera. That's what 50 feels like, baby. Shout out being 50. Take your clothes off and live your life. Take it off. Live your life. We living, baby.
But back to the question. But back to the issue.
Wait till I get to Cabo and I put these goddamn Speedos on. Wait till that.
But you heard what his response was. His response was, you might react to a situation differently than how I would react to the situation. He basically saying he feels that his actions were justified
because he's from the hood.
He's from the hood
differently. Yeah,
but that again, we all from the hood. You from the hood, right? I'm from the hood, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure you. I'm pretty sure you ain't going to strip down to your boobies because you gotta.
I wouldn't. He handled himself the way others may not. But doesn't mean it's mental illness. Doesn't mean he's crazy.
Impulsivity, when you do things on impulse and you can't control yourself, you need to go sit down and talk to someone.
But I don't think he was uncontrolled.
He's done it throughout his whole career.
I think it was anger. I think it was. I think that he could have controlled. Right, but he didn't care.
Let's even say if it was anger management, right? So who do you go see for anger management issues?
They have anger management classes.
Okay. Who do you go see? What class you go to? Who is running that program? Who is running that classroom? Who do you go sit down and talk to when you have anger management?
You're not gonna get me caught up in the trick bag.
What's the trick? It's facts is facts. 1 and 1 equals 2.
I answered.
Who do you go see for anger management? A therapist.
Correct.
Okay, right. So when somebody goes see a therapist, you're getting therapy. Am I correct?
Don't be lying up.
Okay, so when you have therapy, you are addressing an issue. Am I correct?
Okay.
So when you go to physical therapy,
get to your point.
Right. Don't try to.
The point is you're going to seek professional help. That means that you're dealing with some kind of mental issue that you're dealing with. That's all I said. I didn't say he had to check himself in. I just said that a little self-control for a grown man to be taking his clothes off in the middle of a football field. That's really it. I want to get naked. I want to get naked right now. I want to show everybody. I want to get naked right now because Brother Love is hot. Now, if I took my clothes off right now, y'all going to tell me I'm crazy.
More than likely.
You want to think when you do it right now?
No, we're good.
Because we know that you would. So that's the whole thing.
We already got to look forward to your Speedos in Cabo.
And
you don't need nothing else.
And again, you feel like he needs therapy.
Right. I'm just saying address the issue. Right. Yeah, but that's the problem. Because crazy don't know.
He doesn't think he has an issue. He doesn't think he has an issue that needs addressing.
Right, but clearly everybody else does.
Everybody else,
we don't.
We don't.
Okay. So again, you just said anger management, Shay. Now, are you going back to what you said?
She thinks that he has
anger management issue, right?
What I said is that I think he has anger management issues. That doesn't necessarily mean that he needs to sit on the couch and talk it through.
Right.
He just pop off. Don't come to him.
Oh, okay. All right.
You don't want the smoke.
I understand. I don't want to smoke because I got anger management. I need anger management. You don't want to smoke with me. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Listen, but I think people struggle with all different kind of things. I know people that struggle with anger issues, and sometimes I feel like they could probably benefit for some therapy. I think therapy is helpful. Therapy, can really help you through things. But I also feel like he was unprofessional. Yes, I will say that.
He quit his job in the grandest possible way that he could.
And they're gonna
give them the double fingers, whatever. Y'all want to talk to me crazy? I'm gonna show you crazy. You don't know crazy till I pop off. That's what he said. All right. Well, I got something.
All right. So we've established with this whole Antonio Brown thing is that he was unprofessional and he is not taking accountability to some people's standards.
Correct.
And one more thing I want to say, because I was trolling after the discussion that we had. He put up a post on with a Baltimore Ravens jersey on. And guess what? A lot of the football players commented.
Okay. All right.
Teammates, not management.
They don't work with him no more. I probably wouldn't want to work with him.
And it's sad because bottom line is I would never talk down a black man. I hope this man really, really go get some help and identify, because he's one of the greatest wide receivers to ever play the game of football.
Yeah,
so I hope
I agree.
And understand. I really, really do. I'm in his corner. I hope he does well. Shout out to my man AB.
All right, I agree.
Well, guys, guess what time it is?
It's that time.
It is time for Let Me Ask My Cuz.
Let me ask my cuz.
Yeah. Hey, it's the remake. Michelle Wonell, Big Rock, Shayla J. Oh, we ain't going nowhere. Brother Love. Can't stop. Won't stop. Hey.
Did you just say we ain't going nowhere?
We ain't going nowhere. Can't stop. Won't stop.
We here. Stay.
I know I got a really, really interesting question, and it's very funny. Well, it's not a funny question. It's very interesting to me that the questions that came in this week were from men addressing issues with women. So I'm gonna tell you the first question that a brother called in, one of our listeners or watchers. He asked, why don't women require marriage over motherhood? Yeah, I should have did that.
I want to issue a public apology. You was right. I want to issue a public apology. I didn't have the time to call you back. Brother Love is wrong. Brother Love is wrong. But when you're 99% accurate, I guess I could take that one on my own.
But I knew when you didn't call me back.
Perfect.
I knew when you didn't call me back, I was right.
So why don't women require marriage over motherhood?
I'm gonna let y'all talk first. No, I'm gonna let y'all do this because I got something to say.
Okay, so I'm gonna say why women don't require marriage over motherhood. A lot of times, I'm gonna go from our generation when we were younger, we kind of saw that like our parents were together, and when some was married, right, and then they had the children. So we come from that era. A lot of that happens with the single parenting thing. The kids are now growing up in single households. It's not a requirement because it's not something that they even see. Mm-hmm. I've heard a woman tell her daughter, you don't have to be in love with a man to have his baby.
Oh, I guess that is technically true, but that doesn't mean that's the way you should do it.
But when I heard that, I was like, what are we teaching our young girls now?
Yeah.
That it's okay to just be a baby mother.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
as long as you can put them on child support.
How about that? So, and I really think it's a lot to do with upbringing too.
Yeah,
I really do.
Well, I don't know, because it's not my turn to answer. I'm gonna let Ron go. I'll be last.
First of all, shout out to the men that be calling in, because that call came to me, you know what I'm saying? Because they say, yo, Rod, listen, I really need to know what's going on. They never had no questions about what's going on with us.
Your point?
Let's get to the point.
I just wanted to get there with it. Shout out to the brothers that be listening. All right. The thing I got is, and when I got this call, you know, in a jokingly way, it really hit me. It really hit me because, you know, y'all are gonna have to explain that. You're gonna have to explain that. But when I got the call, it really hit me personally because I just got off the phone with my daughter, maybe about, I want to say 3 weeks ago. And she had an argument with, you know, her son's father or whatever the case may have been, this, that, and other. And the comment she made to me was, well, I don't act like other baby mothers. You understand what I'm saying? And I turned around. I said, what? And she said, yeah, Daddy, I don't act like other baby mothers. I'm not a baby mother like that. I said, hold on. First of all, you are a woman. That's first. You are a woman that had a child. And I think a lot of the times is when it's a broken home and the man is not in the home. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whatever goes on in the home, he's not really there to actually address his daughter with these issues. That's what she sees. You know what I'm saying? So I had a little guilt going on with it, and I had to really sit down and try to redirect her. And then I said to myself, maybe I should have had this conversation with her before she had a child, and maybe she wouldn't have had a child. You understand what I'm saying? But it's a thing that it's a generational thing. You understand what I'm saying? And the same thing is mothers and fathers both like to, even with her, a lot of the stuff that's going on with her, I'm trying to keep them together as a family unit, because what you're going through now is going to be worse if you start over and try to continue to do it again. Try to stay in as a family unit. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's what we see, and it's going to continually to get passed down. You know, no matter how much we try it, we just have to try to keep the home together.
Agreed.
Okay. Well, for me, I think that women don't require marriage over motherhood because we don't value the sexual relationship first. Like, you're capable of having sex with a man that you don't even potentially see as a husband. And if you're having that kind of sex, then there's a possibility that you could have a baby. So the marriage doesn't have the quality, right? It's not a requirement because there's no value in it. Like, what does it bring to you that you can't get yourself? So there's a little bit of that independent woman thing. And there's a little bit of, what difference does it make if I marry him if he's gonna, bring money home? If he's gonna pay the bills, he's gonna pay them whether or not we're married. So where's the benefit? And I think that's where they lose themselves in the idea that there's no value in marrying someone. And then you could get out real quick too if y'all just go together. You know?
Because that was another thing that I heard. I had a conversation about this topic today. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and she mentioned she has a young, person in her life, and she mentioned to them, something about marriage, and the response was, "That's so permanent, but having a baby is not." Right. So
exactly
how they think of marriage and how they see marriage is it's affecting why they don't choose marriage over motherhood. For them, having a baby is like, okay, I got this baby, so I'm gonna keep the man too, so he ain't gonna go nowhere if I have his baby.
Right.
And everybody around you has babies with no husband, so why are you gonna do something so archaic as to do something extremely permanent?
Yeah, and she doesn't even realize that babies are more permanent than a marriage.
Right.
Yeah.
That man could go with the baby's not going anywhere.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah, and then that's the thing is, like, she told me, I guess they must have had an argument. So she says, I'm going to need to turn around because I might have to move on or whatever the case may have been, Daddy. And and I'm like, wait a minute. So I mean, you talking about you might have to move on, and your baby's not a year old yet. So you're right. The younger generation is just totally different. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. And they understand the concept of having children, but I don't think they understand the concept of having a family.
Right. That's
you understand
it.
That's right. It. But here's the other thing that you made a comment earlier, and I just wanted to address this about keeping the family unit together. It is more important to me that it is a healthy situation than it is that you are together. Because for me, healthy in my household was my kid's father and I not being together anymore. And being co-parents and being able to raise our children, living under the same roof and raising our children together, we were not healthy, and it was really a toxic environment for all of us. So
okay, so the question is, okay, so and this is where, you know, as we could look back, like, so the things are, you know, it's like, okay, like, so we're 50, right? So we go back into our 30s or into our 20s, what we really considered not healthy. You understand what I'm saying? Could that have been something maybe we could have worked out, or with the mind frame that we have now, or maybe we should look into certain other things, alternatives? Because that's what I try to do with my daughter, because I do realize sometimes we move on or whatever the case may be, but sometimes I could look back and know that it'll get better as time goes by.
I probably, this idea that I always say, could I have done something more to hold it together? Yeah. But I also was one of those people that did not value marriage at the time. Okay. I just wanted, you know, I needed my bills paid. I needed my kids to have a roof over their head. I needed them to come home every day. And marriage wasn't on the top of my list. I was really looking for, you know, the healthiness of some things and blah, blah, blah. So maybe I could have. I just didn't, you know. So there's a tinge of regret about that, because it could have been a different family dynamic for my children. But I think that overall we, you know, came through it well. The kids did, my kid's father did, I did, you know. So no regret.
Right. No. Right. Not, I don't want to get off the subject, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying the things that I tell my daughter now, being that she does have a child. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That it's not bad as usually you know, kind of, if you think about it, it's really not. And it could be the smallest thing that could possibly be worked out.
You're right.
Agreed.
That's all about dialogue. And God knows kids don't know how to
conversation and communication. Yeah.
Exactly.
And after conversations, and you know, sometimes people don't know how to do that. But we got one more question before we wrap up our Let Me Ask My Cuz segment.
Yeah, because I got something to say.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, okay. So this next question, we're gonna have to, you know, kind of rush through this one a little bit. Why do women provoke men to anger?
Why do women provoke men to anger?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you answer that, because I want to know too.
Control.
It's
all about control, right? Because we don't have the physical ability to punch you in your face and not have any repercussions. So we got to take you down mentally.
Right, because what we really want to do is punch you. But if you punch us back, then that's the problem.
And that's unhealthy relationship stuff. Believe me, I'm going to go there first. But it is really about trying to have some control over the situation and the man to get the situation the way you want it, right? And some women think that if the man loses his temper, it shows some type of affection or care.
Yes.
And so if you're too cool and you don't, you know, get angry to do certain things, you're going to keep trying, which brings me back to one of my favorite lines from one of my favorite movies, JD's Revenge.
Get ready to go there. Ready to go there.
They want you to show them where the lines are. You're going to push until you do.
Because you know what? A woman that provokes a man to anger, you have to think about where her mindset is. Because that's not a healthy mindset. That's a toxic individual.
Absolutely.
Toxic all the way. So because a woman is healthy and thinks healthy, she's not going to provoke a man to do something to her.
Right.
Getting up in your face, calling you all types of names, and you know, these kind of things. Because if now he slaps her, then it's either I'm gonna get you locked up, or he loves me.
Right. One of the two. Now he really showing his love.
He's showing his love.
Yeah.
Or they're trying to get you to a point where they might be be trying to get you back for something that you might have done. Because, you know, some women will provoke you, and then once you knock her ass out, then she want to call the police to send you to jail.
Yep.
But meanwhile, she antagonizing. I'm not condoning any kind of domestic violence or anything, because it's never okay to hit a woman. But as all know,
period.
We can, you know, I have been that woman in my day where I will, I've been that.
You popped off.
Popped off, you know, throwing stuff. You raggedy so-and-so and throwing things. You know, I never got, you know, my wig twisted back or nothing like that, thankfully. But if it happened, I would say that I deserved it in that moment. Because you don't put your hands on a man. You don't put your hands on anybody, especially a man that has more power than you, that has the capability of laying you out. Control yourself.
It's such a sad situation when you think about having that as a dynamic in your life, right? Because it kind of takes a man's power away.
Yes.
Because even when he wants to create a scenario where you can have a conversation, if this is the person that you're dealing with, then how do you fix that narrative?
Right.
You got to leave your household, or you got to put an absolute stop to it. But it's all about mentally. To me, that's mental abuse.
It is.
Abuse.
It is. You have to walk away from those type of situations, because when it gets to that point, it's beyond toxic. It is toxic. It's time for you guys to go your separate way. Y'all got to stop, because this is too much. Y'all don't even be around each other.
I ain't gonna put my business out there. Me and Michelle
that conversation we had earlier, boy.
Why are you still in the car 3 o'clock in the morning?
If you do,
I'm not gonna answer. I'm not gonna answer because this was a woman's question. But shout out.
No, Key. The question is why do women provoke men to anger? It could be anger, hit, or whatever.
But real talk. Let me ask y'all a question too. So is that why pimps are pimps and they move so smooth? Because they never lose it. Hey, cool out, baby. No, ain't nothing going on. I'm just saying, is that's why the pimps are smooth?
Pimps are why the
pimps they're not Superfly was not abusive.
He was.
That's a situation I think you walk away from.
Yeah, what happened?
I said those are situations you just walk away from.
Men
have to recognize that it's not just physical abuse, which is usually the highlight. There's mental abuse as well, and that is the situation that you must walk away from.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right. I just had a conversation with a young lady, and we was talking about energy, the energy that your mate might put off on you, and those are all the signs that straight up and down. If I feel a bad vibe on energy, I'm going to delete my number out of your phone, because you just giving me bad energy. So you're right. You got to get away from that negative energy. You have to.
I don't want nobody's musty ass energy. Get it away from me.
Musty.
I know energy has odor.
Yeah, it's some stank energy. It's some stank energy out here. I don't want it.
Yeah. Well,
definitely.
I love that. But we do have a show for you guys today. We have a guest coming on our show. I've known this person since childhood, right?
Yes.
We went to elementary, I think, at least elementary. And she shared with us a wonderful story. At least the end of the story is a wonderful story. The beginning is a little bit different. So I want to be able to let her tell her story when she comes on. So Tracey Oakman.
Hey, is she there?
Yes.
Hi.
Hey, sis.
What's up?
Hey.
How are you?
How are you?
I was
amazing.
How long
happy Sunday.
Yeah, happy Sunday to you, and welcome to Conversations with My Cousin. I'm so excited to have you on the show. And like Shay said, we've known each other since we were little children. Little children.
Literally, little kindergarten, right?
Yes, little children.
Kindergarten.
So it's definitely
we won't count the years because then that's a big number, right?
Yeah, nobody know all of that, right?
Yeah,
so I'm still 35. You know what I'm saying?
But I was really moved when we had our conversation and you shared that even in those younger years when we were together, that you were going through a lot of things in your personal life that I would have never even guessed was happening with you. So that was really an interesting conversation. So just sharing that.
Yeah. So Tracey,
yeah, it was. I want to
go ahead.
She's freezing.
I think she might be having a little bit of technical difficulties. We're going to get through it.
We can see you.
We can still see you and hear you. So I don't know if you can hear us. I think it's delayed.
You guys are freezing up.
We can hear you though. Let me see if we can get it together.
I don't think can she hear us? I don't think she can hear us.
You guys are frozen. I can hear you, but you're frozen. Do you want to just continue talking?
Yeah. So hold up, guys. Wait a minute, Tracey. So as long as you can hear us, you just keep on.
I'm not understanding anything.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yes, the audio is breaking up as well. Well, I'm going to keep talking. Like you said, I am Tracey Oakman, and I want to say I give honor to God first and foremost for just life. I mean, I really do love him, and I thank you, ladies, for allowing me to grace your presence with your stage. I'm so happy to be on your platform right now to tell my story, and I do appreciate you that day. I don't even know why I even decided to talk to you, Lachey. Yeah. That was just so divine to me because I just felt compelled to open up to you. And thank you for listening with compassion. I mean, I was able to be transparent and tell my truth. And growing up, I put on a big facade. I looked happy on the outside, but, I was going through on the inside with, child abuse, pretty much by a family member. And, it's hard to talk about, but it's something that, I need to get off my chest so I can be free. This is going to free me. And with me being free, that's going to help me free a lot of other women and young children, young girls, especially, on my passion. So, I was going through it and, I just, it consumes you. And even growing up as an adult and having my kids, it just puts so much stress and strain on you because you just think like something is going to happen to your child. So you just operate in that fear instead of just being free, raising your kids and stuff. The trauma, the triggers are always there. You don't trust people and stuff. But with all of that being said, I'm just grateful right now that I am in the space where I'm healing. You know what I'm saying? I went through a hard time, bad relationships, just dealt with a narcissist, and he ate me alive because he saw my weakness. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't give him any credit, because all he did was make me amazing, the amazing woman that I am now. And he made me so powerful. So right now, I'm in the position where I'm helping little girls, and the name of my organization is Princess Empowerment, and we meet every Saturday. And the way the program started was the school that I work at. I'm a teacher. I had the opportunity to be the summer camp the summer camp coordinator. And I would go to the different classes, and I saw how catty the girls were with each other. Just the way they treated each other. And it just didn't seem like they were, in touch and in love with themselves as they should be. So I was given the opportunity to just have meetings with the girls every day. And through my healing process, and I give a salute to Queen Akua. I hope you're listening, Queen. Because even though I grew up in church and I had all the scriptures, I knew all the scriptures. I would say them when I was going through it. You know, my mom, I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. You know, just kept me in church. So I had those scriptures in my heart. And I knew that I was going to be okay. But, you know, once you hit rock bottom, you just, you know, I'm going to be truthful. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, you know, God, you know, none of that really feels real because it didn't feel like I was there. But I thank God that I met that sister. I'm getting choked up. I'm not gonna cry. I met the sister.
We're gonna all be on here bawling in a minute.
I met this sister, Queen Akua, Columbia, South Carolina. And you know, she saw my pain just by looking at me, and we connected. So I knew it was divine. And she does sister circles, and I would go, and you know, and they did the meditation and affirmations, and you know, it was just a group of women that loved each other, and we can open up to each other and tell our truths and strengthen each other and build each other up. So at the school, when I saw what was happening with the little girls, you know, I asked the director, is it okay if I take these girls and once a week? And that's what I did. I mimicked the same thing she did with me because it was healing me. And I did the same thing with them. And now we have Princess Empowerment. Mm-hmm. And I meet with them every Saturday. Well, 4 Saturdays out, 2 Saturdays out the month. And we sit down and we talk and we do our affirmations. We do meditation. We have mindfulness stones. We do, excuse me, I'm getting stuck. We talk about mindful eating, you know, with mindful eating. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's mindful eating?
Okay, so with mindful eating.
I think she said mindfulness.
Well, yes, mindfulness, but it goes into mindful eating.
Oh, mindful eating. She did say that.
Mindful eating. Mindful eating is when every bite you take, you know, I teach them to close their eyes. And even if you don't close your eyes, but when you're chewing your food, chew it up good and think about where it came from. You know, a banana comes from the banana tree. Think about how it got off the tree, you know, and after each thought, they say gratitude. The more gratitude you have, the more happier you'll be. Okay. And that's just the bottom line. So that's why I make sure they have that instilled in them. And we also say gratitude is our attitude, you know, and
I love that too.
The best part of the meeting for me, the workshop for me, is when we do what's called the ILAC. Salute to Tyra McFadden. The ILAC is they take a paper plate, they color it at the beginning of the workshop, they make it nice and pretty, they hook it up. And then towards the end of our meeting, when we're sitting down meeting, we take our ILACs and we tear it, you know, and we talk about what stressed us, why did we tear it? You know, my friends were talking about me, we tear it. A little boy pushed me, we tear it. And then we go around and we have tape, and we talk about ways we can put this ILAC back together. So we problem solve. And once they have it back together again, we'll hold it up and we'll talk about how, yeah, this is torn, it was tattered, but we put it back together, you know, and it still has value, you know, and that's helping. It helps me a lot. Everything that helped me out. So
how old are these young ladies?
They're 4. I started doing 4-year-olds to 3rd grade, but I ended up with 2 little 3-year-olds, and they are amazing. Oh my God, they blow my mind. And 12-year-olds. The 12-year-olds serve as helpers, big sisters. So, and I have 17 girls enrolled so far. And we also go out into the communities. We do community service. I teach them to give back. We've gone to the Ronald McDonald House. This weekend, we're going to do a Black History Festival outside. So they do a lot of interesting stuff. And I have people come in and do special things with them. Yesterday, I had a gentleman come in and do art with them. They made cartoon strips. So it was really amazing. They enjoyed it. And that's pretty much it. And we end our workshop with our affirmation. I'll say it's affirmation time. And they all have their special mirrors. And they hold their mirror up, and I teach them that you can't just say it. You have to say it from your mind and your heart. Some of them will try to hold their head down or say it low. No, say it with your chest. You gotta mean it, because what you speak,
I think this is awesome.
That is what it is. Bottom line. So my littlest princess yesterday. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna ask
you about.
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
How do the parents?
I'm down south. Yes, ma'am.
The parents of the young ladies that you are that you have in your princess empowerment classes, what are they saying about how the children are behaving now that they've had a chance to be in these classes with you?
I get a lot of feedback from the parents, positive feedback. They're all happy with the program. They'll tell me things like what we was just talking about, the mindful eating, how, they notice their child sitting down and eating dinner and, chewing their food and actually thinking about where the food came from, gratitude. And that makes me feel good. One of my students was doing it at school, and her teacher actually saw her and asked her, "Where did you get that from?" So she said she tries to do it with her friends, but sometimes they don't want to listen. I said, you keep on doing it. They're going to watch you, and they're going to finally, see what it is. So I'm super duper proud. And I also had a parent tell me that they were I'm big on healthy eating. All of our snacks are healthy foods. I promote healthy. So one of the parents actually told me that they were food shopping, and the sugary snacks that she typically gets. No, Miss Oakman said we got to get fruit. So I was like, yay. I was like, that's amazing. So it's just stuff like that makes me happy. That makes me happy to know that they're not actually just sitting there, but they're actually taking, out in the communities, home to their moms. I mean, we can learn from our kids as well.
Yes,
so, absolutely.
So it makes my heart glad.
From my kids. So, absolutely. I think that what you're
doing, I say, princess empowerment.
I think that what you're doing with these young girls is amazing, because I always say that I wish that we had something like that when we were growing up. I think it could have avoided a lot of problems, because little girls can be, like you said, a catty, and we grow up that way, and then we turn into a bunch of catty adults. So I think but it's true.
And bringing that power at such a very young age, I think that's really empowering these young ladies to be able to have some control over how they choose to show up in the world and what people are capable of giving to their soul, right? When you have that knowledge already that thing coming at you is wrong, then it doesn't impact you as strongly, right? And then you have tools to handle it even when it comes your way at a very young age. So you're going to be raising some super women. That's what I think.
Absolutely.
That also, and that also ties up into one of the questions that we had about why do women choose motherhood over marriage. And those are the things she could definitely empower, and with the new generation coming up. But I'm glad that we did do this show, because I've never really put my phone up. I just got a text that somebody's watching the show. They need her information for mindfulness for children, for kids, parents, and school districts in New York. It's a young lady that just reached out to me. Shout out to one of the producers, Phil, who helps us out here. He's into the program, and he just hit me up just now. He said he's very interested. And they run a program called Mindfulness for Kids, Parents, and School Districts. I guess it must be in Nassau County in New York City. So we will get your information so we can really
we're going to also give the information out to those who are watching us now. So, I have one quick question I want to ask Tracey. At what point in your life did you say, this is what I want to do with these little girls? Like, what was the turning point for you?
Oh man, the turning point for me was when I started to heal. When I started to actually heal, when I started to practice self-love, when I could look in the mirror at myself and honestly say, I am strong, I am beautiful. That's when I knew that, I can do this. And it needs to be done. My passion and my purpose has always been children. I've always loved children, but this is a whole different level what I'm doing, as opposed to being a classroom teacher. This is a whole different thing. So, yeah.
Tracey, sorry, go ahead, Big Rod. You had a question?
Yeah. So with the healing process, how do you feel about forgiveness and moving on?
I am very forgiving. I forgive everything, even till this day, because that's how you grow. When you're able to forgive people and come, to people from a place of compassion. And it's not easy. It's hard because I'm from Left Rack. I be ready to fight, y'all. Y'all already know. Put them up. Right. Exactly, right. So when things happen, and I'm so proud of myself. Like I say, it's tremendously well, I'm not going to say hard. That's not being positive. I'm getting better and better at it. And when I can actually notice and talk to myself and say, I could have slapped her, but no, I talked to her and I didn't make it about me. You know what I mean? That was about her.
Yeah.
I think, and wisdom comes with
wisdom, maturity, and healing.
Right. I know. That's great, but ain't nothing like a good slap sometimes.
Look, I'm too old to be slapping folks.
I won't be playing.
No.
Yeah, man. So that's what I tried.
I had to tell my daughter that the other day because she's like, I want to fight somebody. And I said, well, what is that going to do?
Right.
Exactly.
It's going to make you feel better, she said. Well, it doesn't make you feel better.
Hurting.
Exactly.
Let me ask you a question, Tracey.
Yes.
What do you feel about traditional therapy as opposed to, going through the self-healing process that you did? How do you feel about that? Is that something you would recommend to people?
I think traditional, as far as going to like a therapist and taking meds and all that.
I don't know if meds, just,
not meds, just a therapy
couch and telling a story to a stranger and looking it through, right? Because it sounds to me like you went through a self-healing process with, women that could relate to what you were going through and help you process it. And now you are on this journey of healing within yourself. And you're sharing that with the world, right? And there are some people that go through childhood trauma and they will dial the therapy hotline and, get a therapist and maybe sit on the couch a couple of days a week to try to work through the problems. And I just was curious about where your thought process is with that. Like, do you think that there's a point where you would ever want to go to therapy? Or do you think that where you are and how you're handling things in your life is enough and that, you have within you the things that you need to get to that place of, bliss and healing to a point where you're just, living your best life?
I think it's never really enough. It's always going to be a part of your process because that makes you better and better and better. And I think that it's a personal choice. Like, it's whatever works for you works for you. Like this works. That works for me. And then actually now I'm more going, I'm back in reading my scriptures. I'm back listening to, the word, like how I was taught. So I think it's a part of the process, like where you're at. Like I needed that then. That was strong for me then. That's what I needed to get better. And then, now I'm at this place. You know what I mean?
So definitely.
Where do you look? Where do you hope that the Princess Empowerment Foundation grows to? Like, what's your big vision for it?
Wow. My vision for Princess Empowerment is that we will be able to keep going as we're going. I want to get bigger. Like, I want to travel. I want to go to other rural areas. There's a lot of areas here down south that, I know those little girls. In fact, that's one of the workshops that I'll be doing soon. In the summertime, we're going to go to my mother's hometown and do a workshop there. So I just wanted to grow really big. I want to be able to do scholarships. I want to be able to help with homelessness, just everything. I wanted to, just be, I mean, I can't even put a nail on the head, but I just wanted to be just big, amazing, worldwide, everywhere.
And
Africa.
it will. It definitely will.
Yeah, like I said, you just caught this company's ear, and they just only heard you for 3 minutes.
Right.
So you definitely you're moving forward into a more positive direction.
Absolutely.
So
And tell the people where they can find you and how they can, because I know you're doing it virtually now because of COVID. So if somebody
we're back in person, actually.
Oh, you're back. So you're not doing it virtual anymore.
No, we're back in person. Okay. And we also got a new spot. I want to give a shout out to Miss Nichols at St. John's Preparatory School, because she's the my director that let me actually work with the girls. So thank you, Miss Nichols. I love you. And also thank you to Pastor Jamie Graham, who let me use the church on Saturdays. I went to him in the office, and this is when I was like, I wasn't nervous or scared or anything. I just believed God for it, actually. Let me be honest. And I went up there and I sat down and I asked him, but I didn't think he was going to tell me yes. I really thought he was going to tell me no, but he told me yes, that I can come on Saturdays from 9 to 12. Didn't charge me a dime. Didn't bother me.
Nice.
I would send him
That's
stuff,
amazing.
Yeah, that's how this is divine. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, but now we have our a new spot. And shouts out to 1013 Duke Avenue, the co-op. Thank you, Mr. Darian McLeod. We appreciate you.
Tracy, so that's where are you down south?
I'm in Columbia, South Carolina.
Columbia, okay.
So y'all got to come see me. I'm in Columbia, South Carolina. And we do have a website. It's www.princessempowerment.com. Okay. And I am on Facebook. I am on TikTok. I am on Instagram. And if you hit me up on Messenger, I don't mind giving you my phone number. I can't give it out on here.
Absolutely.
But Tracy, we asked all our guests. We asked all our guests at the end of the of the show. What is your personal affirmation that enlightens, empowers, encourages, or entertains?
Let's see. My favorite affirmation is great things are supposed to happen to me.
I love that. I love that.
I love it.
But Tracy, you have been a blessing to us here, and I'm sure some of our viewers, and we thank you for coming on our show.
Absolutely.
And we love you.
I love you.
Our Left Frack family for life. So you already know that.
Yeah.
Family to the show. So if you got some other projects you got going on, let us know and we can bring you on and we can talk about it.
Yes.
Thank you. Tracy,
thank you.
Stick around for another couple minutes so I can get you this information.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Love you. Just stay in the back. Don't leave. Just stay in the back, okay?
Yes.
Stay in the back. Don't leave us.
Stay in the back. Don't leave. Wow. That was great. Yes. I love that. And I love what she's doing with the little girls.
Yeah, it's an amazing story of taking something that was very traumatic in your life and using that
and turn it around
to allow it to bless someone else. Like,
definitely.
Yeah, and a lot. Some people will just sit in their trauma forever and use it as an excuse to not be great.
Exactly.
Doing the exact opposite, right? And using this platform to share her story, I'm very humbled that she thought enough of it, that we would be able to share this story for her. And I'm just hoping and blessing her with just this is just the beginning of a catapulting of something really fantastic in her life and what she's doing. So thank you to my childhood friend, Tracey Oakman.
Yes. But as you guys know, we have to wrap it up. We are at the end of our almost at the end of our hour. But I want to give some quick shout outs to Blue Rain Radio, iHeartRadio, to all of our listeners and our viewers. Thank you for rocking with us. And make sure you guys get on that www.theteamremy.com and book your
teamremy.com.
We're going to be in Cabo in September. We hope to see you there. But as you know, at the end of every show, we give a quote. And this is the quote that we have. Trauma creates change you don't choose. Healing is about creating change you do choose.
Hey.
Guys, we will see you
So
all.
thank you. We'll see you next Sunday.
Yes, we will.
All
Peace
right.
and love.
Baby, we out. Hey.